Hey guys, my name is Nick and welcome to Watch This Now. Believe it or not, there are some really good movies to watch for free right here on YouTube. I know, like actually watchable movies. It's crazy. And not everyone can afford every streaming service at every time. I know I can't, so give your wallet a break and check out some of these excellent movies that you can watch for free with ads. But I gotta say, I watched a movie that was like an hour and a half the other day, and I watched maybe 30 seconds of commercials throughout it. I've seen more commercial breaks on a 20-minute YouTube video, and they're the same ads where you can skip in like 5 seconds, so not a bad deal, I have to say. Before we jump into this top 10 list that I've made for you guys today, I have to encourage you as a YouTube creator to like this video and subscribe to my channel, because together we can defeat the final boss that is the YouTube algorithm. Kicking things off at number 10 is Child's Play. I know, a real movie. I told you guys. This 80s slasher classic follows a little kid who ends up getting a doll for his birthday, but this is no ordinary good guy doll. This one happens to have the soul of a serial killer trapped inside of it, and it is out to get Andy and his family and friends. Ooh, I love Child's Play. This is the movie that made a generation of blockbuster kids fear dolls. I am one of them. I have always been afraid of dolls after seeing this movie as a kid, but you know what? It's really enjoyable. So if you haven't watched Child's Play in a while, you're due for a rewatch. Number 9 is Welcome to Me, a dark comedy starring Kristen Wiig as a woman with a mental disorder who happens to win the Mega Millions lottery. She ends up getting like $90 million, and what does she decide to do with it? Well, she wants to be Oprah, so she ends up making her own talk show. This movie is ridiculous, but I have to say, if this is your kind of brand of humor, check out the trailer and maybe you'll be into it, because there are not a whole lot of movies like Welcome to Me. Number 8 is Killer Legends, a documentary from the filmmakers behind Cropsy, another great documentary if you can find that one. But in Killer Legends, the filmmakers track the origins of several American urban legends that have always fascinated me. From the phone call coming from within the house, to poisoned Halloween candy and killer clowns and escaped mental patients with hooks for hands. Where do these stories come from? Well, they decided to actually find out, and I thought that this was just plain fascinating. I really enjoyed this documentary, especially the story behind the babysitter tale. That was really interesting. I did not know anything about that case. If you're a fan of folklore or true crime, this is an excellent mashup that makes for a very interesting watch. Number 7 is The Wave, a Norwegian disaster film that follows people trying to survive after a tsunami crashes through their city. I'm not going to explain the science behind it. It's like some water reservoir thing. It cracks and the water comes. Who cares? It's a disaster movie. I love disaster movies. I always have. And I remember seeing this movie in theaters, actually. I really enjoyed it. So to see it just pop up for free on YouTube, okay, you gotta watch it, okay? Just watch it. Number 6 is Before We Go, a romantic dramedy starring Chris Evans and Alice Eve. Evans also directed this movie, and it is just too adorable. I probably shouldn't even judge anything with Chris Evans on my channel because he's the sexiest man alive. In this movie, Captain America plays a street musician in New York City who bumps into a distraught married woman one night, and the two go on a low-key adventure through the city as they learn about one another. This is not the typical romance. I would not expect a Hollywood ending, but this is a different and very charming kind of movie that happens to capture a certain kind of movie magic that is rarely seen today. Number 5 is Van Wilder, a raunchy comedy starring Ryan Reynolds as a rowdy college student who lives to party. And this one is pretty typical comedic fare, but what stands out is that this is a movie that my mom loves. So there's that. Number 4 is Frozen, a thriller set at a ski resort where 3 friends become trapped on a ski lift when the mountain closes down for the weekend. Stranded mid-air, the 3 must try and find a way to survive the plunging temperatures. I touched on this on my video on movies that were leaving Amazon Prime last month because I wanted to put it in my video on isolation horror on Amazon Prime, but now it's on YouTube where it's even more convenient to watch. And I will say that this this movie does have detractors out there, I know, but I think that they're mostly people that don't understand how winter or heights work, so I say watch this one for yourself and form an opinion of your own, but I will warn you, it is intense. Number 3 is Cube, a sci-fi thriller where 6 people find themselves trapped within a maze-like construct full of deadly traps, and they have to use their own individual skills in order to make it out alive. If you are a fan of Saw or Escape Room, then you definitely should check out Cube, because not only is it the precursor to those films, but I would argue that it's actually better than both of them. Number 2, The Host, a South Korean monster movie from director Bong Joon-ho, who just swept the Oscars with Parasite. So if you loved Parasite and you want to see the filmmaker's previous work, well, The Host is a good place to start. But I'll admit, I have not seen it myself. I know, what am I even doing here? But I've only heard the best things about it for like 15 years straight, so it earns its place this high on the list. Number 1 just so happens to be one of my favorite movies of all time, so thanks YouTube, and that's Ghost in the Shell. This brilliant sci-fi anime follows a cyborg policewoman tracking a very powerful hacker. This is a very simple and easy movie, but it also explores a very interesting themes and ideas, while also being action-packed and just visually appealing. I am not the biggest anime fan, so I don't know a whole lot about anime, but I can tell you that this is a perfect film, in my opinion. Ghost in the Shell, 5 out of 5, any day. Love this movie. So even if you aren't a big anime fan yourself, I would still suggest checking it out, because it's short and sweet and just plain great. Well, I guess that's it. That's the video. But if you want to see more, you can go ahead and hit up the YouTube Movies channel to see what other movies that they have streaming right here on YouTube. Or you could just like this video, as I said, and hit the comments to let me know to make another video, because I made a big, long list of movies that are on YouTube right now, so I could easily make another one for more recommendations for you. Just like putting it out there. Thank you so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. Hit the comments to let me know what your favorites are and what you'd like to see me cover, what kind of recommendations you want me to give you guys during this time of extreme binge watching. But before you go, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to watch this now, because that's all for this video, but I won't stop you from watching another.